Hey everybody, welcome back to Kruse Control. It is Monday, July 22nd, 2024. Welcome to Kruse Control, the home of entertainment news. I am your host as always, Brian Kruse. Welcome back everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend, got all your stuff accomplished. You just had the best weekend ever, and now you're happy to kick some ass again on a Monday, and here we are on Kruse Control. It's going to be a fun show, so thank you so much for joining us. Happy Monday. Here we go. And joining me back as always on a Monday is the queen of Mondays herself, Miss Rachel. Rachel, how are you doing today? Happy Monday.
I'm doing great, Brian. Hi out there, Kruse crew. How's it? I hope everyone else had a good weekend too, and ready to get the show going.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
And you, Rachel.
Thanks, Peppy. Peppy's always very excited, isn't he? But how you been, Rachel? How was your weekend?
I love the Pep Star. It was great. I work in the travel industry, so I was real happy to not be working this weekend after everything kind of crashed on Friday.
Oh, that was insane. I had to go to the vet too, and all the systems were down, and people were going nuts. It was crazy. Everybody was having problems. What's up, Dave Banner? Good to see you, man. Yeah. Welcome back to Kruse Control. It's nuts.
Global tech outages are super fun. We super didn't see Y2K coming 24 years later.
But they did fix it, right? It's all good. It's all good now. We're all doing great and getting our bananas on time and stuff. Okay. All right. Yeah. That's good. All right. Well, good to see you, Rachel. It's gonna be a fun night. Maybe a freaking fun night. So I'm so glad you're here. But also joining us back on Kruse Control, everybody. Of course, she's back. It's Monday. What's up, Queen? Good to see you. Artist, creator, writer, artist, director, all the above, our friend and yours. Everybody, welcome back to Kruse Control. Lexi, how you doing? Lexi Koval, congratulations. Welcome back. I know what that means. Happy Monday.
It's I, the angry pixie, back to complain about things on Monday.
Hey, come on. It's not complaining. It's just having a conversation, right?
Well, that's true.
Having a conversation, Lexi.
I need to bring more cynicism.
It's the same thing for Lexi. Complaining, conversing, same thing.
It's true.
All the above.
Yeah, Lexi's here.
Thanks, Peppy. You have a good weekend? You been doing well since last week?
It was a festival of cats.
A festival of cats?
Yeah.
What was going on?
We went to Cat Fest on Saturday.
That's a thing? I didn't know that's a thing.
It was very weird.
Are there like live cats or people dressed like cats?
There were live cats. There were people dressed as cats and live cats. There were furries. There were furry animals. There were everything. It was the whole 9 yards.
Wow. Well, that sounds like fun. Is there a dog fest too? Do we know?
I don't know, but I don't like dogs. No offense to people. I'm just not a dog person. But I'm here for Cat Fest.
And now Lexi's been canceled.
Right. Yeah. You don't like dogs at all? I mean, that's not the right thing to say because Pep Star is here right now, right, Peppy?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm actually scared of dogs, so it's more of a fear thing than it is.
Shit!
But you know how it is. Like fear kind of develops a disdain for things, so you just.
I get it.
You like having around when you don't really are kind of scared of it. But I've met Pepe, and Pepe is a very good dog.
Yeah, he is. He's a good guy, right, Pepe? Yeah, that's nice.
I fed him some snickety snacks. Everything's cool with us. We got a good vibe. We got a relationship.
But let's keep it professional now, beautiful. Keep it professional. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm Pep Star, and I keep it professional. I'm a professional.
Well, no, God, we got this. It's all good, bud.
We got this. Well, good to see you, Lexi. It's going to be a fun show tonight. It's going to be a fun show. Welcome back. Happy Monday. And we're joined by a new person tonight, too, Lexi. It's been a while. We're getting new people all the time here on Kruse Control, which I'm loving so much. It's nice to have new voices coming in, helping out, and just spreading their word and their opinions and everything else and their beliefs. And also on top of that, tell us about their projects they're doing right now. So I want to welcome to Kruse Control an actor, director, but also more importantly, he's doing so many projects right now, everybody. He's got, done a bunch of different independent small projects. He's got called Choices, Cooking to Live, The Reagan Returns. He's also been writing a lot of musicals right now, Right now, he has a musical that he's been developing about MLK Jr. and Nixon, which I can't wait for him to tell you about, everybody. But welcome to Kruse Control for the very first time, everybody. Mr. Robert Young. How you doing, Mr. Robert Young? Welcome to Kruse Control, Robert.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How you been, man?
Hey.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, Harvard educated, went to school with Damien Giselle. Basically, you know, just a writer, filmmaker. I'm, you know, interested in a lot of different things, a lot of basically politics, history, that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to, you know, make my way in the world, and you know, I recently was in New York with a musical called When We Get There. It was about a civil rights era family going to march in Selma with some family drama because of mixed race marriage, and I've got another show that's going to be coming up in Michigan called Nixon King, which is a show about a fictional meeting between Martin Luther King and Richard Nixon in while King was in jail. And yeah, I've been making films for, you know, over 20 years. You know, just kind of like
New face on the show. How you doing?
Pepe was saying hi. Oh.
Yes. There was a famous actor who was called Robert Young. Yeah, I think he was in the 50s and 60s.
Wow. I'm so happy to have you on the show, Robert. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think, too. We're going to be able to talk about a lot of the business. I know you're here for the first time. There's a lot going on, and I'm excited to have a new, like, as Pepe said, a new voice on the show. And I know it's fun because you reached out via Facebook, too, and we're just getting new people on. So I'm happy to see. I hope you have a great time and bring a lot of good takes to the business, too, because I know you've been in it for a long time. So I'm excited to hear what you're going to say about a lot of stuff we're talking about, you know? So welcome to Kruse Control. Appreciate you. He's like, yeah, it's going to be great, Robert. It's going to be great. But anyways, everybody, we're going to have fun. We're going to be fun. We're going to talk more about Robert's stuff too tonight, but it doesn't really matter what's going on today because a lot happened over the weekend. A lot happened, and a lot of stuff. The world's changing a lot, but on top of that, the business is also changing. And it doesn't matter what day it is. It could be a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, any day of the week. There's always one thing going on Kruse Control, and that is a lot of breaking news. Come on. Woo! Twisters, everybody. Twisters. And it did as well as they said. A little bit better. $123.2 million opening weekend. Give that a round of applause. I'm surprised on that. That's a breaking news queen. Daisy, Edgar Jones, Glenn Powell, Anthony Ramos coming in here, kicking some ass. Again, this 90s movie coming forward. Everyone's like, how's it going to be? Well, apparently people are loving it. It has a lot of heart. Domestically, it made $80 million, and overseas, a total of $123.2 million. As we said on Friday, I think Glenn Powell's becoming the 90s superstar of reboots because he's also doing Backdraft too. So this guy's just going to keep making more and more money. And hopefully people love it. And hopefully people, love Twister. But people are also excited about Community, which has been delayed because Joel McHale said it's due to his schedule. It's his problem. It's because of him. He says, guys, it's happening. If you're excited about it, it will be. It's going down. There's no definitive date for it to actually go down, but he's hoping next year they start shooting. And I'm really excited. Again, blame his schedule. If you're waiting for that Community movie, it's going to take a long time. Don't blame Chevy Chase. Blame the schedule. That's what you got to do. But people are really amped about that, as much as people are amped about Stranger Things. But we got more about the Duffer Brothers because Netflix greenlit another project called Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen by the Duffer Brothers. And now they've been writing this and working on this for a while, and Netflix is pretty excited about this. What's this about? Well, they're calling it an atmospheric horror series set at a wedding following a bride and groom in a week leading up to their ill-fated nuptials. That's not a spoiler. Just read the title, which again, I get it makes sense. What's up, Thirsty Daddy? Good to see you. You're late. You're late, GR. You're late. But I do hope that this is going to be good. I love Duffer Brothers. I mean, there's not much information about this. Twister's getting buried. Yeah, you're right, Queen. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they'll love Twister going forward. But, this is cool. It's about, at a wedding. Hopefully it's great. But another wedding movie coming forward is a Paul Rudd musical comedy called Power Ballad. That's right, with Nick Jonas coming together. Paul Rudd is playing a talented but, past his prime wedding singer. And he's also training a young rock star who's played by Jonas, makes sense, who uses the wedding singer's songwriting prowess to revitalize his own career. Again, Paul Rudd in musical, why not? There's no similarities here, right, guys? You don't see a similarity between Brian and myself and Paul Rudd? There's nothing here, right? Nothing here.
I mean, and the Jonas, y'all could, be siblings, all three of you.
This is called Krustum right here, everybody. I don't know, something. But I'm excited to see if this is going to be good again. Wedding singers. Why isn't Adam Sandler in this? But, it's probably better we got Paul Rudd. Probably better. But speaking
you're
of...
excited for work, Brian. That's all you're excited for.
I want work. I want work. I want Paul to call me up. Let's get some more work going on. Let's do something, Paul. You got my number. Your people call my people. Let's make that shit happen. But, wedding singers are great. But, the biggest news right now in the music community, I would say, is that Eminem has overpowered Taylor Swift right now, becoming the #1 album of the year as of right now. Of course, that's just a timestamp. Taylor's gone on for so long as #1 right now, sweeping the charts. But Eminem's new album came out, and now he's officially surpassed her. For how long? I can see it happening for a little bit, but I can see Taylor also branching off and conquering him again. I mean, Eminem's a legend, of course. He's doing great for a long time, but I hear some rumblings isn't the best album. I still haven't listened to it, but I do want to see if the death of Slim Shady is really great. I know I have some friends that love it, but hopefully it's good. But another music icon that's getting the shaft is Prince right now. Because Prince is a documentary that's been in development for a while right now, a 6-part documentary series by Ezra Elderman. And right now it's called Dead in the Water, because what happened is he was supposed to do a 6-hour part. He's got a 9-hour movie as opposed to a 6. I mean, I'm only singing about that, but also they're saying on top of that, it's not that factual. And he's been changing a lot of stuff, dramatically factualizing inaccuracies and sensationalizing most of this movie or this series. So now he has lost the rights to it, and it's called Dead in the Water. Now there's no chance it's going to happen moving forward. And honestly, just treat Prince right. Just treat him right. You have to. Come on, he's such an icon. Take care of the man. Another big icon is Da Vinci, and I hope that Universal does right by this Da Vinci story, because they have a movie moving forward. It was based on a documentary from 2021 about, it's called Lost Leonardo. I almost said DiCaprio. I have DiCaprio on the brain here. Leonardo DiCaprio, all this. That's how it goes. But Lost Leonardo, and it's about a crumbling paint depicting Christ in Renaissance called Salvator Mundi. You probably heard about this before, but they found it, restored it, and found out that it could have been I want to say DiCaprio again, Leonardo da Vinci's last possible final work. And then it became this whole thing of big people, like $450 million it went for. It's a big bidding war. But again, they're doing a movie based off this with Julianne Moore playing Diane, who was an art restorer who saw it and actually restored the whole thing and made this come together. So I hope this is gonna be a good movie. I love Moore so much. I love Da Vinci. So hopefully this is treated right and Universal takes care of it. But I also hope Universal takes care of another thing called We're Going Back to Wonderland. And this is interesting. It's a night before Christmas in Wonderland. Like, what? What are we doing right here? I don't know. It's an animated movie moving forward. And you have Amelia Clark in this, playing the Queen of Hearts. You also have Gerard Butler in this, Simone Ashley. A lot of people come in there. It's a musical based on, again, a reimagination, a redone telling of Alice in Wonderland. Now, again, Clark is the voice of Queen of Hearts. Gerard Butler and Ashley will play Saint Nick. He's gonna play Saint Nick, and Ashley's gonna play Alice in the film.
Stop letting Gerard Butler sing.
He's gonna sing. He's gonna sing.
He can't. I saw that Phantom of the Opera movie.
Passion.
That boy could not sing.
Old Saint Nick down the rabbit hole, and then he has to find presents and talk to Wonderland. I don't know. This is the weird thing for me, but
this shit I ever heard.
This is a terrible movie.
It might be good. It might be good. I know.
It's him singing in it. It's gonna be a piece of shit.
You are so.
You really are. You're so positive.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. That's what I'm doing. I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt that he'll be okay, but I really don't know. I really don't know either. Like, it's a weird concoction putting these two together, but maybe it'll be good. But,
Gerard Butler's never good. It's like he's talented, but I don't know what to put him in because he's never.
He was great in 300.
I guess. Yeah, you're right.
It was a long time ago, though.
It was a long time ago, right? He was terrible in Gamer.
Yeah, Gamer.
I ever saw.
Michael C. Hall was great in Gamer, though.
Yes, he was. But Gamer
was a crazy movie. It was a really crazy. There's also singing in that too, right, Lexi?
Like a follow-up.
There's a follow-up for it too.
No, it was a follow-up to 300. My camera cut out. But you know what I mean? Like that was his like big thing, and when he was like getting momentum, and that was what he followed up with, and it's like, dude.
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing, man?
Fan of the Opera was a bomb. I mean, it's like he hasn't really had much of a hit after 300. So it's like, how am I supposed to sit here and call this guy like? I don't know. Yeah.
It's an unsolved mystery, Lexi. And unsolved mysteries are coming back. That is true. Ooh. True. Netflix has released a trailer for Volume 4. And I love unsolved mysteries. Again, the original series was amazing. I've watched a little bit of this new one, but 4 seasons I was surprised by this. But they had 9 episodes are coming out. They're going to drop a bunch of them on July 31st. 5 episodes, and the rest will be weekly on top of that. So Netflix is still playing along with this whole like releasing stuff as they go. But our unsolved mystery is who killed the Pope in Conclave. This trailer came out, and I thought this was actually a pretty fascinating trailer. I'm not like big into a lot of these historical like religious movies, but I mean, look at this cast. Look at this freaking cast. You got Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow, and on top of that, you got Ray Fiennes. Ray Fiennes is playing like the freaking main Cardinal Lawrence, and it looks really cool. An unexpected death, but comes to the Pope, and there's a murder mystery going on, and he's trying to solve it. They're trying to kill him along the way, trying to crown the next Pope. I think it's really a fascinating movie, and I hope it is going to be great. It's something that Joe Rogan would probably talk about, but Joe Rogan's also coming back to do one more live special on Netflix as well called Jokes, Folks, Just Jokes. And it'll be launching in August. And, Joe Rogan's always doing shit. This man cannot stop, won't stop. And it's coming out August 3rd at 7 p.m. Hopefully it is great. And for him, hopefully it does well, because he's been just doing his own show and not really doing a lot of the stand-up stuff. So good for him coming back to Netflix. And I'm interested to see how it goes. But a lot of breaking news, everybody. A lot of breaking news. But, Robert, again, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. A round of applause. We always go by. And then we dive into what we do next. And I can't wait to see how you do for the next segment. Can't wait. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Come on, Robert. Give me a yeah. Give me a yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, Robert. Woo! Well, here you go. You're going to be stoked about this, Robert. This is that time to put 1 minute on the clock. For all my guests have to say, what to say is there. Hot takes. Let's do it, Robert. Come on. All right, now it's time for those hot takes. This is that time to put 1 minute on the clock, and all my guests get 1 minute breakdown all their hot takes for all the latest breaking news. It's only 12 topics tonight. No, it's 11. I think it's only 11 tonight. I was being easy on you. It's a Monday. There's not a lot of stuff going. There's stuff going on, but not enough on a Monday. But I'm excited to see who is the hot take master of the evening on a Monday of July. We're almost done with fucking July. It's going by so fast. But I'm interested to see. I'm very excited. Very excited. Miss Rachel. Who do you think should go first on the hot? We can't make Robert go first. Come on, we can't do that. But who's gonna go first in the hot takes?
No, we can't make Robert go first. So we're gonna make Miss Lexi go first, the reigning hot take champion.
Oh snap! Uh oh!
I got this.
You got this. I believe in you, Lexi. I believe in you.
Me too. I believe in me. Mm-hmm. I got this now. All right.
You ready for this, Robert?
Nope. I'll do my best.
Pay attention. You'll see how it goes, and then you'll know what to do.
Okay.
Here we go. Lexi's going first, though, so you got some time. Just watching, and we'll see how it goes. So here we go. Watch this. Lexi's great at this, so Lexi. Here we go.
Right.
Hot takes in 3, 2, 1. Hot takes.
All right. Twisters twisted our expectations for the weekend. Community movie, Rachel must be very upset. Duffer Brothers, another series about something with a long, weird name with something strange happening. I can't believe it. Paul Rudd, like I said, your boy, you got some work coming up there, Kruse. Got some work coming. Eminem Dethroned by Taylor Swift. I'm a little bit surprised by that, genuinely. But it's not a terrible album. I can talk about it later. Prince documentary scrapped, probably a good thing. Da Vinci film coming by Universal, that's gonna bomb. We're going back to Wonderland, we already talked about this. Shit. More unsolved mysteries coming, Conclave, I think that you're more excited than I am. And Joe Rogan, there's a bunch of middle-aged white men that are very excited about your special.
Hey, look at that. You got 15 seconds left.
Look
And
at
Lexi's...
that. Look at that. I killed it. I don't need,
need more
seconds. What do I need it for? To say that Eminem Houdini sucks.
Oh! Oh! And Lexi got the hot takes!
I did.
Lexi's takes were the
Great hot takes. Great hot takes. Round of applause. Oh, we lost Robert.
Uh-oh.
I wonder.
We did.
You know
I
what's
was going to
happening?
go anyway.
I know, sometimes this happens when I remember this happened to Jake all the time. When you go to hot takes, you disappear. Then you come back after hot takes. I'm like, Jake, are you scared of the hot takes?
The
But
takes were just too hot. They just
too
scared
hot.
him away.
Scared him away.
It was like, I can't deal with that.
All right, Rachel. Then it's going to go on to you now. Are you ready for these hot takes? Feeling good, smooth, buttery, ready to rock and roll?
I'm here. I'm queer. I'm ready.
All right, Rachel. Here we go. Hot takes in 3, 2, 1. Hot takes.
All right, Twisters. I'm honestly surprised it's doing as well as it has. Film has not been doing well in theaters lately for a lot of reasons. The Community movie, it will happen. Even if it's delayed, we're going to get that movie. 6 seasons in a movie, everyone. The Duffer Brothers, cool. Good for them having another show, I guess. Paul Rudd, get it. You get that bread, Brian. Eminem Dethrones my girl Taylor Swift. She was top of the charts for 12 weeks in a row. It's okay for somebody else to have it at this point. If her album had come out more recently, I don't think she would have been knocked off, but 12 weeks is respectable. Prince Doc, I'm glad that they canceled it if the guy was screwing a story. Like, come on, show some respect. Da Vinci, seems like an interesting concept. It's not DiCaprio because, I'm sure there's going to be women in their 30s in that movie. Back to Wonderland looks like shit. Unsolved Mysteries is a good show. The Pope movie looks interesting, and Joe Rogan can suck my dick.
Well, Lexi beat me to that. Yeah. It was still great hot takes. Great hot takes. Do we think that Robert's gonna come back? That's the question. Did he get scared?
His connection seemed a little iffy, so.
There's 2 fierce women here, just whipping up on these hot takes tonight. So
I know the hot takes are spicy tonight, and with seconds to spare. That's what David Banner says. Spicy.
You can't put Taylor Swift in the hot takes and expect me to make it under. I'm gonna go over a couple seconds.
It's okay. I'm gonna give him like 5 seconds to come back in before I launch the hot takes being it. Maybe he'll come back after this segment and be like, all right, let's do this. It was great. It was great hot takes. For an applause one more time. One more time. Why not? Wrong button. Here we go. There we go. Come back, Robert. David Banner says, come back. Yeah, it's weird because some people actually do the. I know we're getting a little bit of echo, so apologize for everybody out there. It's funny because sometimes people have open mic like that. I don't have an echo, and other times there is. I know there's been a bunch of people that just have it open, so it's weird. I don't know. Maybe it's a computer setting or something. I don't know. I try my best the technical stuff, but as you can tell, I'm swearing and breaking things all the time when something goes wrong. So I do my best. I need a technical advisor someday. That day is not today, though, unfortunately. But great hot takes, everybody. I think we lost Robert, so it's down to 50-50, 1-on-1. Who's going to win the hot takes? I need to put one more out.
Chevy Chase in the Community movie segment. He won't be in it. His character died.
Yeah, his character died. I knew that.
Yeah, he's not coming back. Yeah, and also they were all mad at him as well. That was the thing, too. I started the poll last though.
He was a giant dude while working on that show. He said some really racist things to some of the cast members, and that's not all right. That's not okay, man.
From what I understand,
I know a lot of people are mad.
He's always been hard, and it's not anything new. But apparently, in his older age, he just got really, really racist and really, really difficult to work with, and he just became intolerable. The industry doesn't want anything to do with him anymore. At this point, they can't get him back on anything anymore.
Yeah, I mean that is, and he can't work. He was.
They can't get him. They don't want him.
Yeah, he was saying he can't get work. He's like, I'm trying and no one wants to hire me, which I'm like, that's what happens when your a douche alert goes off, you know? Unfortunately, I loved Chevy Chase as a kid, you know? I loved him a lot.
I did too. I mean, he was one of my like favorite actors growing up. So it's always so disappointing to hear that he was such an asshole. But you know, so many of the greats were.
Right.
It's really unfortunate. Like how do they act like that? That's what I say. How do you get like that? How do you let yourself be like that when you're so respected? You know. But then again, maybe big head ego that comes down sometimes. You know, it's just sad. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase looks like my dad too, which makes me upset.
He called Yvette Nicole Brown the N-word, and that was one of the final straws for him being written off the show because Donald Glover was like, I'm not going to be on this show if this asshole's on this show at this point. He really stood up for Yvette and was we're not doing this.
That would totally do it. Like, I would be like, dude, you're freaking gone. But I know even Joel McHale was saying, like, you know, he had an interview like not too long ago when they were actually talking about first doing this movie about like, I'm so glad he won't be back because he was so much trouble for the actual show when we were shooting. So freaking sucks.
And he caused filming delays like crazy. Like they were on set for way longer than they had to be because of him. He was not a good vibe for that show.
Yeah.
I mean, I could list.
All right, welcome to the show.
Repeated iconic reasons why he's a great actor. I mean, like he's one of the greatest straight
Christmas
comedians
Vacation
to ever live. Like his straight comedy is one of the best. Like he's so good at like holding a straight face and doing like some of the craziest shit on screen. Like that's what makes him so great. Like is his straight comedy. Like he's one of the best straight comedians out there. He ruled the 80s with that stuff. Like his straight comedy. So it's like all the movies you're talking about. It's like he was one of my favorites growing up too. Absolutely. Like I could list a ton of movies that he's in. It doesn't make him a good person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really doesn't. Unfortunately, the caliber of your acting is like the caliber of the man or the human being, I should say.
If you ever study the history of why he lost his show that he had on Fox, it was because he was deplorable to work with. Like he lost that show because he made.
I didn't know he had a show.
Yeah, exactly. Like they basically like. I was excited to watch it because I loved Chevy Chase growing up. So when I heard he got a show on Fox, everybody like lined up to watch it, and it was first of all the show was a joke, but second of all he was deplorable to work with on the show, and then shit canned in 2 seconds flat, right? So
that's all it takes. Welcome to the program, Mr. Dave Bautista. Everybody, round of applause for Dave Bautista popping in the last minute, helping us out. Part of the show.
I see he's.
Right. He likes to pop in every once in a while. Yeah, welcome back, Dave. I'm so happy to have him back here. You know, he's random popping. His internet kind of sucks, though. His internet sucks, so don't expect him to say too much. But I always try to have him say something. So, Dave, are you okay, man? How you been? How you been, Dave?
You know, I really thought I'd be winding down at this age, but I'm not. It's like my career just gained traction, so it's like I'm constantly busy. So I just don't have time to slow down and think about it. So I feel good, man.
I'm happy you feel good.
Ed, why? Why did you do that? You're so good and you're so talented, but you did that film. I just don't understand. Like, why?
You got to watch out for him. He might give you the silent treatment right now.
Everyone does a stinker now and then. It's all right, Dave.
It's okay, Dave. We love you, right, Peppy? Right, Peppy?
Give me one paw up, bro.
Yep. All right. Yeah, I know. I'm happy to have Dave, though. His internet might kick in and out here, but we're going to see him for a second. Round of applause for Dave to pop in here last minute and help us out. But yeah, on top of that, though, the breaking news stuff, the Eminem thing, the Taylor Swift thing, I know you were talking about that a little bit, Rachel, but it is like, I mean, it's inevitable. It's been, you said 12 weeks, a long time. She was down. I was shocked when I heard that she was still at the top of the charts at this point. That it took Eminem, of course, there's gonna be a lot of momentum for Eminem when that album came out. So that could push her down a little bit. But could you see her popping back up to one again?
Oh, absolutely. The second she drops Reputation Taylor's version, or she drops some more songs from Tortured Poets Department, she's going to be back up on top. Whatever she releases next it's just natural, especially from the tour. She'll be up there. I mean, spending 3 months at number one is unheard of, especially during the summer months when everyone dropping their hits. Fucking Kendrick couldn't take her out. A whole bunch of artists had a lot of really successful songs. Billie Eilish couldn't take her out. So, I mean, 12 weeks, it's respectable. Eminem's new album is pretty good. I'm not mad at it.
It's a good album. Yeah. It's got some real weak songs on it when they're weak, but it's a good album overall.
Yeah, I've only listened to a couple songs, but I should listen to the whole thing. I know I had a friend that I'm trying to get on the show. she's obsessed with it. So we'll see.
Houdini's embarrassing. Like that's a really bad song, but then the rest of the album's really solid. Like it's.
I don't mind Houdini.
Yeah, she likes it too. I never was into
I thought he has that something about a bag, bruh. He rhymes bruh with abracadabra, and I think that's terrible. You can do better, Slim.
Come on, Slim.
I never liked when he did that stuff, and I feel like it's too much of what he's done before. Even though I get what he's going for with it.
He's funny.
Yeah, I'm not feeling here for that one.
Na 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 na. Eminem. But it's interesting. But a lot of breaking news when it comes to that. Good for him. I mean, the Paul Rudd thing. I did a joke about that, but that movie sounds pretty good. Lexi, it sounds pretty good. Like wedding singer, passing the torch. Can you imagine Paul Rudd singing though? Have you seen him singing anything?
No.
Right.
But I mean,
they got one of the Jonases to be in it, so.
Yeah, maybe he'll kick the brunt of all the singing, and Paul Rudd will be like, all the acts like, yeah, in different moments, you know?
Maybe they'll make it like a comedy thing. Every time he goes to sing, it just pans to a different scene. He's never actually seen singing in the film. You just know that's his job.
Rudd's good at those comedies that ride that line between comedy with a little bit of drama spiced in. So if it ends up being anything like that, then it could be good.
Yeah,
like Garden State, things like that. I know that Paul Rudd in Garden State. I don't think he was in that one, but you know what I mean.
No,
kind of stuff like those kind of movies.
I wish he was in Garden State. That's a great movie. I love Garden State.
Yeah,
Peter Sarsgaard.
Too bad the director that's an asshole, but you know
that happens.
Yeah.
But we do have a winner for hot takes, everybody.
If they auto-tuned The Rock enough to sing, they can auto-tune anyone.
Right.
I don't like politics, but I'm just waiting for The Rock to run for president this time around. Anyways, we have a winner for hot takes, everybody, and very exciting because the people's president will happen someday. Very exciting, but I'm gonna put it out there. Our winner for hot takes, everybody, on a Monday is Miss Lexi Como. Lexi, congratulations!
I did it again. How many in a row is that? I went from a failure to a champion.
Woo!
I got this. I know how to do this now.
Round of applause.
Once I understand the formula.
Yeah.
Right? I swear.
That's great. That's great. Thanks, Peppy.
It was the Twisters, right? That's what it was.
It was the Twisters. It was the Twisters, and I think everybody loved it. Was great. It was great hot takes. Rachel had great hot takes too. Robert, I think Robert got scared. I think he got scared. Everybody, he's out there. He's like hot takes, but what's going on here? But it's okay. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe he'll pop back in. Peppy, do you think that he'll pop back in? Do you think that he's going to come back, or you think that he's gone for the evening? Because I just don't think he'll come back.
Fake news!
Yeah, I don't think Peppy's going to come back. Anyways, great hot takes, everybody. Thank you for being here on Kruse Control. Sorry, Robert, miss you. Hope you're watching us live. Hope to see you back here. If you get back in, let us know. If you're not, we'll hopefully see you next time. But there's a lot more going on. And one thing that, I know, David. I wish he participated. I don't know what happened. Maybe he lost his internet. Maybe something weird happened. He was having an echo effect. Maybe he's trying to fix that. Maybe he'll pop back in. You never know. But I do tell you this. I do know about a lot of Alien stuff is moving forward. And the new trailer dropped for Romulus, which is the last one. And also there's news on the TV show. I've been asked about that a million times. So can we talk about Alien?
We get no intro this time. We're just talking. We're just jumping right in.
You didn't have it? I had it. You didn't have it?
No, it just started like 2 seconds after it started.
Okay. Womp womp womp. It's okay, but I'm sorry you didn't hear it like we heard it out in the chat. But it's gonna be good. It's time for some hot not hot takes. Time for some. Can we talk? Oh my God, my brain. It's time for us to talk about aliens, everybody, because Aliens is moving forward, and the new Alien Romulus trailer dropped just recently, and I'm really excited about this movie. They're saying it's gonna scare the crap out of us. It's gonna scare the crap out of you. That's they're saying. I'm going to say it's going to scare the shit out of you. Is that true? Is it not true? I don't know. But also on top of that, we have a TV show I've been talking about for a while. I had a lot of people ask about this Alien TV show. There's a TV show. There's this one. There's another movie happening on top of that too. But the TV show has just been named too on top of that. And it's going to be taking place in the past. And if you're wondering like what it's all about, no, this is taking place on Earth actually. It's taking place before the events of Ridley Scott's 1979 Alien classic. No. It's called Alien Earth. And it'll be a retro futuristic look before the film.
Yeah.
So...
You can't do Earth Hive. You can't do Earth Hive.
They're doing it. Timothy Oliphant's in it. Timothy Oliphant's in it, being one of the main people. Alex Lothar. We don't. But that's a big. I remember Timothy Oliphant. People ask me about this. Like, what happened to the Oliphant show?
About this, I did not know that they were doing Earth Hive.
Yep. Oh yeah. They've been developing for a long time. The strike shut it down, and then they had to go back. It was a whole thing.
I knew they were doing a TV show. I did not know they were doing Earth Hive as a TV show. That's so stupid. It's not a good concept for a TV show. It's not a good concept for anything. It worked as a comic and a book, but like as a TV show or anything, Earth Hive was a stupid concept.
Can you give a synopsis of what Earth Hive is, Lexi?
Well, okay, so aliens, like, they're parasitic, right? So they go, wherever they go, they're just going to latch onto whatever they're there, and they're just going to infect it and then create more. That's how they spread. They're a plague. They're not able to breed without latching onto other species. So if they come to Earth, we're fucked. That's it. And there's not really any way to fight them. You have to get rid of the first one right off the bat, or else you're just done. Because as soon as one starts, as soon as there's eggs, as soon as there's a queen, if there's a queen on the planet, we're all done. If there's an Earth Hive,
but it's just over with, isn't it?
But yeah, you're done. Their planet's done. Earth is dead. Earth is a dead planet because we would lose our planet to the aliens immediately. We would lose our habitat. We'd have to leave. So we would have to just find a new world because, like, we would be so overrun with them. They're an invasive species. You got to think of them like, like when you take those frogs back to Australia, and then you see Australia get overrun with the frogs.
Cane toad.
The cane toad. It's like that kind of thing. Think about it like that, but like with aliens.
Oh.
So,
I don't know what I mean.
Earth Hive taking place before the first Alien film, does that imply that there was previously an infestation on Earth, or?
Well, that would imply
that's the
that
question.
all the
We're writing history.
Alien films can't even exist because our planet wouldn't be able to exist with an Earth Hive, right? Like, you can't.
Yeah, they're not giving my details. But like, how do you? I mean, you said there's already a history here we have written down for this. So how do they do that before in the books, Lexi? Like how if you're already saying you can't do that, but we've done it, we're doing it. What's the idea though? How we make it happen?
Down to the very first Alien film. The very first Alien film basically presents the idea that species was wiped out by them. They're a plague.
Okay. Yeah.
They themselves are a plague. Like they're not. They're a bioweapon, right? Like, isn't that essentially what they're looked at as in almost every weapon? Like, yeah, but even like other species will look at them like as a bioweapon. When you look at what the predators do with them, when you look at the way everything treats them in literature, they're always treated as like a bioweapon, or they're treated as like a plague. They're not treated as like just like a species or a creature. Like they're not something that just like exists. Like they're invasive. They have to latch onto something else. They procreate through whatever they're latched onto, and then they just destroy whatever that environment is. So whatever they're fly off of whatever planet they're on, they're just going to do that to the next planet they do that to.
Yeah.
So we're fucked. We're dead.
We're fucked.
We're dead immediately.
Yeah, completely. Then so it's like interesting to see why they take this route.
Predator come save us.
Maybe that's what. Maybe they're tie the Predator, and that's what'll happen. The Predator will come out and knock it all out at the end of the season, and then we'll be like, that's where we transition to the next hive. I guess. I don't know.
That'd be so weird.
But do you want to watch a trailer for Romulus that came out? Do you want to check it out? So here's the new trailer for Alien. Here we go, and I can't wait for this because honestly, Fetty, who did Alvarez, who did the Evil Dead, is doing this, and Ridley Scott said that this is actually going to be like one of the scariest, best movies he's seen. He's really excited about it. So here's the latest trailer, and the final trailer coming out in August for Alien Romulus.
Are you sure you want to do this? There she is.
You want to break in and steal highly regulated equipment.
This could be our only ticket out of here. Should be in and out in 30 minutes.
Romulus space station.
August 16th.
This place gives me the creeps. What the hell is this?
I don't know.
What the fuck was that?
Kind of looks like
The fuck is that?
more than like an alien in a lot of ways, which is funny.
Stop playing around, man. Just get out.
I'm not playing around. There's something in the water.
What do you mean there's something in the
No,
water?
there's just something in the fucking water.
Oh.
Run.
I get the impression there's a lot of face huggers in this movie.
A lot.
Like more than we're used to.
Are you alright?
There's some.
That's the chest first.
Oh. Oh.
Navarro!
You're dead.
You're definitely dead.
Whatever comes.
I mean, it definitely looks better than the other Alien films.
Right?
It looks the most like an Alien film that I've seen in a long time. Is it supposed to tie into Prometheus or the other one? Or...
The originals. The originals.
Yeah, the originals. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch that. I might even watch that later.
Well, you gotta get your popcorn bucket, so we gotta go to the theater.
Yeah, get your alien popcorn bucket, right? That's coming out for this. But this is like, it does tie into the originals. It's a prequel. It's before all the Prometheus ones. Now, they are planning on doing another one that's a sequel to Prometheus and all that. They're doing one more. But this is in the past. There's also the TV show. So there's a lot of alien projects moving forward. I know a lot of people were talking about like what's going on with that TV show. We mentioned it like almost a year ago. I'm like, it is still happening. It's done. They've officially wrapped production just recently. It was like last week. And now they're in post-production for the show. This is coming out. And then after that, we'll get the sequel. I don't know if Ridley Scott's going to come back for the sequel, but I do know that he executive produced this.
Just stay
away.
He probably at this point. Like
he had that whole thing.
Know better.
Yeah, he had that whole thing before though, where he was like, he was mad because they had
he's always
taken a lot of projects from him.
He's a great director, but like he's good at grand scale, kind of like historic pieces. That's really what his forte is. At this point in his career, I don't really feel like, I want to see him go back to doing, if he's not going to go back and do old set pieces like he did, and he's going to try to take Alien and he's going to try to take it to this grand scale that nobody asked for. We just want our tight spaces. We want, the pacing that we want from Alien. We just want you to stick to formula. Alien is something we want you to stick to formula without going a little bit too far out of, We do kind of expect like some gunfights, some aliens and that kind of stuff. Like it's an action series.
I think it's hard to talk about a formula with Alien. Even looking at the first 3 movies, those are very different films. Every single one of them. There's not really a cohesive tone to them.
Every director's kind of taken their own interpretation of Alien and done what they've wanted with it, really. Like Cameron really changed the franchise into what a lot of people see it as today. I mean, the original Alien was definitely like a horror film set in space. The second Alien is definitely an action sci-fi film. The third Alien tries to get back to formula, but just ends up using a lot of, very David Fincher techniques in its presentation of the story elements and stuff, which I really like. Alien 3. It's actually one of my favorite films. I think that the story is beautiful in it in a lot of ways. I think people just need to get over the fact that they wanted more of the same. Because I think of what Fincher did with it was really beautiful. And I think if he had been able to expand the story of what he wanted in there, that could have been a really great film. I think there's a lot of potential for that to be something really special. 3 had a lot of potential. Right? Yeah, Space Prison. Space Prison with the weird religious cult and There's a lot of potential for good things there, though. You know what I mean? I just think it got fucked with. There was too many hands in the pot. That's what it was with that one.
Yeah, this feels like they're
maternal. No, it was the one where she was too maternal. Never mind.
Well, this one it seems like they're trying to get back to that scare tactic, back to the original, made the original like people loved, and away from like the lore where they're doing with the the Prometheus stuff, where they're doing with that. It was just kind of like we're diving into that more. Let's just get what Alien is. Let's go back to what is. There's aliens are taking you over, and they're killing people, and we're on a spaceship. Let's call it a day, and that's what they're doing for this. But Rachel, do you think that's something that's gonna like hit with people? Is it gonna revitalize this franchise for people that maybe haven't seen the original Alien movies and cause like a a burst of like Alien like satisfaction at the box office?
I feel like the series never really died. I just feel like they're really slow at putting them out. I think there's still quite a substantial fan base. I think it's one of those iconic films that is always going to have a draw. I don't think they've tapped it too hard yet. Prometheus and Covenant maybe weren't the best examples of Alien films, but I still think people are going to seek it out. I think people are going to still go to the theaters and watch them.
I think so too. I think that there is something about this in the way that, you're bringing in a new director, you're bringing a new look for it. You're kind of, trying to really delve into that horror. I think that people might just, people like to be scared, and this is really just a jump scare type deal. Lexi, again, is a big fan of all this, of the Alien franchise. Is this something, I know you said you go see it in theaters. So is this something you're like, oh, we're finally doing the right thing for the Alien franchise again?
Yeah, it looks like the director wants to. I mean, this is the Evil Dead guy. I think that there are some things in the Evil Dead remake that I could, scoff at here and there that I didn't really necessarily like here and there. But overall, I think it was a pretty solid remake. I think it was probably one of the more respectful remakes that we've covered over the years. And so, he's a good director. I don't think he's a bad director. I think he's really good at his cinematography in particular. He's very good at making things look horrible. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna hit. That's one thing for sure. Like, his scenes of like gore, they're really gonna hit. Like the impact of the scenes are really good. Because that Evil Dead movie, like the scenes of gore in that movie were nasty. Like, it was a really brutal film. It was one of the most brutal films I've ever watched. So, I mean
we had 3 fucks in the trailer, so like you're gonna get a lot of intensity for here.
Which is I'm all about. Bring it on. Bring it on.
And it looks like we've got the more traditional Alien designs back. It looks like we're like you said, back to form. The marquee used the original fonts, that kind of stuff. So I think that
Weaver is still acting. Why don't we get her involved in some of these?
No,
I know. Pop her in there. We have to de-age a little bit, which is fine. We do that all the time, though, right? They're de-aging left and right.
The question I have is:
that's true.
Are you trying to push it away from because there was a lot of discussion when the Blomkamp one was being done that they want. There's a big there's always been that push from 2 to have 3 go into its own timeline. Do you know what I'm talking about? They always wanted 3 to kind of take the original 3 and throw it in the trash, and then they wanted to kind of push the 3 into having kind of like take 2 and then just kind of like go this way, essentially. And that's what Blomkamp was going to do, was take the original ideas of what they wanted to do with like 3 and then have Ripley still alive and all that kind of narrative. Like,
I think a Blomkamp Alien would be amazing. I like Blomkamp.
I don't know if that's what
we sell it in South Africa, though.
I don't know if that's what this one was necessarily what that's what they wanted to do with this, but I know that there was a lot of discussion about kind of trying to get back into that universe, kind of throwing away 3 and 4 that had been done as well, like throwing those ones out and trying to get like that things back on track there to what the fans wanted there, and trying to course correct for what they had fucked up over the years with Alien. That's what I heard, but I don't know for sure.
I don't know. That'd be kind of a cool concept to do that too, to kind of be like, all right, we're just going to try to like refix this now and just kind of make it like how it should have been. And then I feel like that's happening sometimes in franchises in general. They're just trying to know, oh, let's forget about this. Just forget about this. That wasn't good. That didn't work. You know, we tried
like
something.
Resurrection though. Resurrection's wild. That movie's insane. I love that movie. It's so stupid.
Well, that's why I'm like, just don't reboot it. Just continue whatever you're doing. Just continue. Just do something else. And that's what this kind of seems like. Well, let's make this an in-between movie.
And more high quality AVPs. Give me some more Alien and Predator
versus Predator. I like those actually.
If you take away Resurrection, then you take away the scene where Ripley fucks an alien, and that's like one of the greatest things ever.
I don't remember that. What? I don't remember that even.
Oh yeah.
I gotta go. Which one is this? This is Resurrection.
Resurrection, yeah.
I gotta go back and
watch
it.
Because she's part alien, part human. Remember? So then she's like. Yeah. And then they have the alien. They have the alien human hybrid. Remember? There's the alien human hybrid that's like part human, part alien. It gets sucked out the airlock at the end. It's gross.
They were just trying things. What was that, the 90s, right?
Yeah, that was the 90s. Just throw stuff out the windows.
Just call it good. I think I'm surprised that Glenn Powell's not in this movie because he's doing all these 90s reboots. Like, why is he not in this? Throw him in.
Right.
He's going to be our 90s man.
He's the 90s there.
He's probably is. He's probably a cameo, and they'll be in the next one. They'll probably have a spin-off, and they'll be like, okay, it's time for some Glenn Powell to be rocking your wavelengths again. I don't know. It's interesting to me. I am excited about this movie. I agree with you, Lexi. I'm going to go see this. Rachel, you going to go see this in theaters with Lexi, you think? Or you think it's going to be one of those things that is... Yeah, I think so. I think this is like one of those wins.
Bucket. I'm in.
I think it's one of those things that's just like, it's just a good like August movie. And usually I'm like, oh, August movie. This is a good August movie. And I think it's going to be scary, and I think it's going to be fun. Will it scare the crap out of me, though? I don't know if it'll scare the crap out of me. But yeah, I'm going to go check it out. I'll let you know if it does. I'll go to the bathroom afterwards and clean up. You know, that's what it'll have to be. But, you know, we'll maybe talk about that live. We'll see about that. But well, it might scare the crap out of Madonna as Taylor Swift, because she's been dominating right now. Is she taking over Madonna's world? Is she the new Madonna? I want to take him to Kruse Court. This is just kind of fun for me, but I know like Madonna is finally talking about her biopic one more time, and it's been so long since it happened. Like I think it was like January that she had canceled the whole thing. Universal was going to do it, and they were like, "Oh, we're not going to do it anymore." It was called "Who's That Girl?" And they were just like, "It's just done." Like they said the script needed so much work, they just cancel it, and they already had someone attached to it too. Julia Gardner was actually supposed to play Madonna in this. And then they just like, it was pushed away. It was actually January of 2023. Wow, it's a long time ago. But she's pushing forward, and she's rewriting herself, and she's making it happen. And Julia Gardner's still attached to this. So I mean, she's still very popular, still touring, still doing her thing, but not as big as Taylor Swift, I would say, anymore, everybody. Because Taylor Swift is everywhere, so much so that recently a big time director came forward and was talking about how her relentlessness and what she has done has changed the business, and people need to follow this formula. And that's Soderbergh. He was like talking about this. He's like, this is great. If you see what she's been doing and what she's brought to people, it's a class act. It's just like something you never see before, and that it's something you need to study and learn from. And I'm like, that's pretty freaking dope. But the question is Taylor taking over? Is she bigger and better than Madonna? Is she gonna be the new Madonna, or is she just like they're both too different to actually compare? That's the question. And do we want to see a biopic? I mean, I think we do. I think a biopic for Madonna makes sense. Michael Jackson one's happening. Taylor Swift's a long ways in the making. That'll happen eventually. But is Taylor going to take over for Madonna? Is she going to be the new Madonna? I want to throw it out there right now to Rachel first, because Rachel loves her some Tay-Tay. So Rachel, I want the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Is Tay-Tay the new Madonna?
Here to be the Kruse Control resident Taylor Swift expert. I think honestly comparing her to Madonna is a little bit diminutive. I don't think Madonna accomplished nearly as much as Taylor has. Don't get me wrong, Madonna had some really great songs. She was a phenomenon in her time. I think she's more comparable to Lady Gaga than Taylor Swift, especially with the theatrics. I think Taylor Swift's more comparable to an Elvis or the Beatles or even Michael Jackson. She's really at that level at this point, where she's kind of reached the pinnacle of musical heights at this point, career-wise. She's set and broke tons of records. She doesn't have a peer at this point. She is just kind of above everything with the way she succeeded, especially financially. So I don't think it's a fair comparison. I think Madonna was the new Cher and Lady Gaga is the new Madonna.
Wow, that's. I mean, I don't know. I kind of figured you might think that too, but I'm shocked that you think that they're not even in the same category, really. Even Rachel, that kind of not even the same category.
Not even the same category, which is fine. I mean, that's not a diss on Madonna. I like Madonna. That's not diminutizing anything she's done in her career. Madonna has done a lot of really wonderful things in her career. She's made a lot of success. She's written books. She's acted. I mean, if you look at the spectrum of things that Madonna has done,
so
that's
much
great for her.
She's like dominated in all aspects of entertainment, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. She's had some real stinkers. A Bitch on Madonna was not a great song. Anything she's put out really in the last 20 years has not been good.
Bitch on Madonna.
Not a good song.
Terrible.
I don't even know that one. I can't even tell you that one. Bitch on Madonna.
She has not maintained her career, I think, in a way that honors her legacy as much as, like, say, Cher or Celine Dion have. She really wants to be that kind of diva icon, and she just isn't. And that's okay. Ooh. It's okay to be that.
I feel like those are fighting words against Madonna. I feel like those are fighting words. I don't know.
I'm giving her respect, but like you gotta understand where you belong.
Well, let's find out what Lexi thinks about this, because maybe Lexi feels different. Maybe she doesn't. Lexi, I'm gonna put you on the stand here. Tell me the truth, the whole truth about the truth. Do you agree with Rachel, or do you think that she is underestimating Madonna? Madonna. Tell me the truth.
Madonna ain't never spent 12 weeks at number one.
I mean, she's not wrong. She's very much Lady Gaga in the same way. Madonna was a leader in sexual revolution. She was a leader in women's rights. In a lot of ways.
She's really subversive in a way that Taylor Swift isn't.
Right. I mean, she was the first one to go out on stage in the really sexual outfits and really push a lot of
cone boobs
boundaries in sexual promiscuity in front of the camera and that kind of stuff. So I mean, there's a lot to be said about Madonna opening the doors for a lot of artists and what she did. I mean, I'm not going to deny the importance of her as an artist. As was previously stated, you wouldn't have Lady Gaga without Madonna. Literally, they wouldn't exist. But in that same vein, Lady Gaga plays piano. She's an absolutely beautiful musician. Lady Gaga is a better singer. She's a more talented singer. Lady Gaga is a better actor as well.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, as far as that's concerned, but growing up, I loved Madonna as an actor. She was a wonderful actor. She was one of my favorite actors. I'd always watch stuff that she was in. And she was in a lot, and so in that regard, she was always
Madonna,
a power figure, just a singer. Yeah, she was never just a singer. She was in everything. She was a model. She was a singer. She was an actor. She was in everything. She was Madonna, like you just said. She was an icon of an era, and her era is over, and that's okay. Everyone's era comes to an end, and that's fine. But she's more than a singer, and I think that the discussion of what we're having here about musicians, Taylor Swift is an accomplished guitar player. She's an accomplished pianist. She's a singer,
songwriter.
Songwriter. I mean, Madonna has written some stuff.
We are not recording Taylor Swift's acting credits here.
Yeah, I was gonna say she is not. I would say, I mean, Madonna's not a great actor either, but I was, it's just saying,
I don't great think in the original League of Their Own. She was perfect in that. I mean, she's got some great stuff.
You're right.
And she was great in Dick Tracy. Some of her early work was great. I mean, it's her later work that falls off. Evita, she was wonderful in Evita.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some great Madonna works. It's just it's the later stuff, we were all talking about. So I think the comparison's unreasonable to compare Madonna to It's like that same thing, like people dipping into a pool, like trying to compare Beyonce to her too. It's like it's not really a reasonable comparison. But once again, Beyonce is also an actor and was like a power head of an era. She was a figurehead of like a specific era.
Comparing Beyonce to Madonna is more reasonable.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, and I think that's very true. I think because Beyonce was the tail end of the '90s into the 2000s. She really represented that that era more so, in that figurative light. Being a figurehead celebrity that does a little bit of everything. Yeah, she's an absolutely wonderful actress. I love Beyonce as an actor. I would love to see her do more acting.
I loved her in Goldmember.
More acting from Beyonce than.
I genuinely would love to see more acting from Beyonce. I think Beyonce is a beautiful.
I'd love
actress.
to see her do some Broadway.
Yeah, I would too. I agree with that.
That'd be cool. I mean, I just think that you're right that about comes out of Madonna, like her acting is definitely better, but like pop star we're talking about too, and then like Taylor Swift is very young. And she's still blowing up, very influential. I wonder what her career will go to be. I just think where Madonna was in the 80s, it was like a big time for her, and people like, again, it was a sexual revolution. That's what like she was saying too. That's very true. I mean, the cone boobs, all that, like a lot of people were like all about her because of the sex that she brought to her music, and that's what kind of changed music in a lot of ways.
She wrote a book called Sex. So like,
that's
she made the coffee table book of sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave, what do you think, man? I want the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, Dave.
She's one of the first with the fireworks and her tits on stage. Like, seriously, like.
Honestly, Katy Perry is another one you could compare more easily to Madonna than Taylor Swift.
Oh, her stuff is not going well too. I would say too. Her new album came out, or her new song. I listened to it too. I'm like, what is happening? People are just ragging on her. Yeah, it's not good.
Madonna but also had some really bad songs.
Yeah.
Ray of Light's still good. I remember my brother used to like rock that when I was in high school. He's like, it's time for Ray of Light. And like it's got good thumps. I'm like, Kyle, you just love Madonna. Calm down, buddy. Shout out to my brother.
Was a terrible song. I know it was popular, but I thought it was fucking terrible. The song was
music.
And like there was a lot of what was the one where she raps where she's like Pilates in a latte. That fucking song. I'm like, that thing was the worst fucking thing I've ever heard. Like,
really, anything after the year like 2000, Madonna just.
Yeah.
I mean, her making out with Britney Spears and whatever on stage, that was her trying to pull her career out of the toilet at that point. Right. That was not those two being blessed. That was all of them at that point trying to find that last hurrah of how can we all pull our careers out of the toilet, because at that point, none of them were really relevant.
Poor Britney. Poor Britney. Poor Madonna. They should wrote a song together. They should have had something that's like, here we go, making out again. Just like kids straddling the saddle again. I don't know.
Don't quit your day job to songwrite,
Ryan. When I have discussions with Rachel about Taylor Swift, my discussions I have with her about Taylor Swift are the same kind of discussions I have with her. I make comparisons to Michael Jackson. And growing up, I know there's the controversy around him now, but like I grew up in the 80s, and he was a incredibly incredibly influential part of my life. And I loved Michael Jackson growing up. Like I was incredibly into him. Moonwalker, I had the videotape. I watched it on repeat every day. I was like, I came home and watched that thing. I loved it so much. I was so into it. Anytime he had a new music video coming out, I was like, oh, new music video. I got to sit down and watch the new releases of it. Like it was a household event when Michael Jackson put music videos out and stuff. So it was like, like he was a big part of my life. And that's the only thing I can compare Taylor Swift to. In comparison is like, I can't think of anything with the level of hype. Like when you're releasing albums, when you're putting content out, when you can think of the way the world reacts to it, the only thing I can think of in comparison is Jackson, that I've grown up with in my lifetime.
The Beatles.
Well, I didn't grow up with the Beatles, you know what I mean? Like, not to cut you off. Like,
when she was in Liverpool and Sir Paul McCartney got to go to her show, he said, this is very much like Beatles Mania, except for I get to be part of the audience this time, and he was really happy about that. But he directly compared her to the Beatles. And coming from a Beatle, that's, no
that's pretty monumental. But I mean, look at that audience. So look how people react to her. Look how she's in the charts for so long. And Madonna had a part of history, but I just don't know. You're right. If she is Taylor Swift, I think she's freaking done a lot to get to people to be someone like Taylor Swift. But I think that a lot of people have taken that ball and run with it much further than she has. She's still in the business for a long time. She's still not stopping. But I just don't know. It's a hard comparison. You're probably right. But I do think that, you know, they call her the Queen of Pop. They called Madonna the Queen of Pop at one point or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they did, yeah. And I think that she will always have a place in history, but Taylor Swift, I'm interested to see where she goes. I think maybe it's just too early to compare them as well because, again, Taylor's so young and she's got a lot more doing. She's accomplished so much, but we're going to see where she goes by the time she's Madonna's age. But I think at the end of the day, when it comes down to this, you better watch out, Madonna, because Tay-Tay's coming for you. And she's going to be maybe the new Queen of Pop, and you're going to,
already came and left. Madonna's already been left.
Oh, shit. Sorry, Madonna. Take that.
Tay-Tay's
and take your ray of light.
For you, if anything. Watch out for that.
Watch out. Take your ray of light and run away. Run away with that. But yeah. Anyways, the biopic is moving forward. She's excited about it. She is co-writing it with somebody else, a ghostwriter, but mostly she is writing the whole thing. She's like typewriter, making her own biopic move forward. I'm interested to see how it is, and hopefully it's good because Madonna does have a story to tell. She has a story to tell though. I'm just never sure.
I don't love when people write their own.
I don't like when people write their own biopics.
I'm not sure about that either.
They put their own stink on it. They make themselves look better than they are.
Yep.
They always do. They always do. So. Just don't go Prince at least because that Prince one makes me upset too. But then again, hopefully this will be good, and Madonna will maybe get a nice little end to her career with something great. No Swiftie, Buck Rogers.
It's undeniable the accolades and the talent that she has. It's okay not to like it, but it's there.
Yeah. You gotta respect it. You gotta know what she's giving to the business and the drive that she has to create all this music and how much music she's pumping out, and it's all great and people love it. You know, not all of it, but people love it. You know, people love it and they're obsessed with her because of what she brings to the business. So, and that's again like Beatlemania, like Rachel said, a lot of people aren't like that, and so it's hard to be.
I never liked the Beatles.
I love the Beatles
either.
Fucking love the Beatles. Oh my
god. Respect them. Not my thing.
You know what they brought though. You know what they brought. I also respect something else, but I'm not really sure about this happening. But a Huckleberry Finn reboot is coming, everybody. So, do we need this? So, Taika Waititi, everybody. Taika Waititi is in negotiations right now to direct the new Huckleberry Finn movie. That's right, it's called James by Percival Everett, who wrote this latest book on it. It's an adaptation again. Of course, Taika is known for Jojo Rabbit to, you know, the new Thor movies. He's been doing so much. We all know Taika from being an actor to director, just being an all-around comedian. And he's done a lot of fun movies in general. And the Jojo Rabbit, I think, was a good interpretation of a historical event that he made his own spin on, brought some comedy to. I think it worked. People gave a lot of praise. But now he's going to be the person behind the new Huckleberry Finn. Amblin Partners are coming involved with this too. We got Spielberg attached to this, the second producer. And the book has been a big hit right now that's been written. But James watches. It's a new adaptation. So James, if goes around an enslaved Jim overhears that he is about to be sold to a man in New Orleans, meaning he'll be potentially be separated from his wife, his daughter forever, and subsequently he decides to hide on a nearby Jackson Island until he can formulate a plan. But meanwhile, Huck Finn has faked his own death to escape the violent father and recently returned to town, and they begin a dangerous journey together, transcending down this river on a raft, Mississippi River, toward the elusive and too often unreliable promise of the free states and beyond. Again, James is called Taika Waititi. I think that he has brought a lot of great things to historical events. Again, Jojo Rabbit. But again, Huckleberry Finn is one of those things that I think it's just too dated. I'm like, yeah, maybe people love it, but there's no... I didn't really care for this there. I mean, people are like, oh, it's a historical thing, and it could do so great, but I never really cared for it from the get-go. I think it does have a good premise of like bringing people together, you know? Yeah, it brings people together, which I think is great. But I mean...
like Huckleberry Finn?
Seeing the angle it's coming at with Jim being the main character, I think it's really actually very interesting. I don't know how they're going to get around that because like Queen's mentioning here, the character's full name is Jim, and
Yep. Yep.
that's
Yep.
going to be hard to get around.
Well, that's it really will be, but they're going to try to find a way, probably. You know, they're going to try and make this work.
I think telling the story from his point of view would be interesting. I wasn't here for it when I just thought it was another Huck Finn retelling. I don't give a shit about this little white kid.
Right? Or Elijah Wood. Was it
Elijah Wood was a cutie. Like, good for him.
Look,
like,
that was a good movie.
We don't need to make another one.
I like that movie.
We can just leave it at that movie. We don't need another one about him.
That's what I thought too. But do you think that Taika Waititi's going to bring, like, again, it is a twist, spin on it. Do you think that he will bring something different to this?
And I'm really interested. The Spielberg was in that picture. Does he have anything to do with this, or was he?
Yep,
just
he's executive. He's executive producing it too. His Procoming Emblem Films behind it, so they're doing it as well.
Spielberg, I trust him. He can do anything. He's the greatest cinematic mind of our time. Truly. Christopher Nolan can go fuck himself.
I love Nolan. Leave Nolan alone.
Leave Nolan alone. I won't. I will find his Peloton class and I will harass him.
Leave Nolan alone. Leave him alone.
He ain't no Spielberg or Waititi. I love Taika Waititi. I think the films that he's made have been really entertaining, and I think that he can really bring a really interesting point of view to this. He is native Australian or New Zealand. I'm sorry, he's native New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand. Yeah.
So he does have a point of view that a white director wouldn't necessarily have.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting.
And Spielberg, maybe he entrusts him with this. Again, I think that Jojo Rabbit probably is a reason why he was thought about for this as well. Because again, it's like twisting the events a little bit, bringing some comedy in, changing the story a little bit, changing the narrative, which you'll be doing with this as well. What do you think, Alexi? Are you more on board now? Are you hearing the premise of it? Do you think that might be a better thing like Rachel's saying? Or are you still saying to yourself, like, this is a dated piece, we've already had a lot of issues with the writing where it was, just leave it in the past?
I was already on board with this when you told me they were doing it. I like Huck Finn. I like Tom Sawyer. I've always been a fan. Like, even since I was a kid. I don't know if it was the little white boy in me, but I was always into these books, I'll tell you what. Like, seriously, I've always liked it. I've liked the books, I like the movies. I've seen, like, every single movie. I really like the one with Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one... That was the one with the Hot Boys. That was the Hot Boy version for like
JTT.
If you like your 90s Hot Boys. That was who was the other one that was with him? There's another Hot Boy. That was like the real 90s Hot Boy one. Huck and Finn, that was the name of the movie. I know that one. And I know Disney's had their hands all over, like, you know, Tom Sawyer.
I don't think Disney has anything to do with this.
Which I'm surprised that they don't.
It might be Amblin.
Especially
it's Emblem.
I'm surprised that Disney didn't, especially with their relationship with him, Taika.
Yeah.
So
you would think so.
Yeah.
Maybe they're so mad about Thor.
With them anymore.
They're mad about Thor: Love and Thunder.
He doesn't like the Disney leash.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But I mean, like she said, Spielberg's great. He's a very competent modern director. He's probably one of the more competent modern directors I've seen. He's really good at taking fantasy stuff and pulling the whimsy out of it in just such a way that I'll tolerate it and not, you know, be pushed over too far with it, because I'm not too big on things being too whimsical. He's good at, you know, the more historic stuff. He's good at taking the historic stuff and injecting modern comedy and elements into it.
Bringing in the Taika.
Well, those historic feelings in there, you know what I mean? Like, what's that one that you like, Rachel? Flags of Our... Was it Flags of Our...
Oh, Flags of Our... They got canceled, right? Wasn't it?
It did get canceled, which is why I'm sad. And then also he did What We Do in the Shadows, which is
that's a
having
great
its final season soon.
That's one of my favorite shows. So
yeah.
I'm a big fan of that one.
Shout out to Harvey, friend of the show.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm super here for this.
It's great when we actually have one that everybody kind of wants to see here, because it doesn't usually happen. Normally everyone's like, I don't want to see this. What are we doing? Why are we making this?
I mean, when's the last time? I mean, when I was growing up in the 90s, they shit out like Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer stuff like mad. Like you said, like there was one with Elijah
were
Wood,
pushing
and
Mark
there was
Twain
the JTT
hard in the 90s.
Oh yeah, growing up in the 90s, like you had Mark Twain down your throat all day. So like, especially with kid stuff for some reason, like they wrapped kid stuff around Mark Twain like all day. So, like I guess I grew up with that, and I don't want to say I have a nostalgia for it, but I don't know. I always like it worked for me. I was a big fan of Road to Avonlea as well, which is on a Canadian show, which is set in like
that sounds Canadian.
Yeah, it's Canadian as fuck, but it's similar to it's related to Anne of Green Gables, which is I don't know.
Also Canadian.
It's Canadian, but I know it's like hugely known around the world.
Also Canadian.
Yeah, but so like I grew up with a lot of that.
The Prairie.
They do a lot of that. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like kind of like Little House on the Prairie, but like Canadian. So I grew up with a lot of that kind of stuff, and I don't know. I just kind of I'll gravitate a little bit to that era. And I feel like Tom Sawyer comes from that era, and I don't know.
Tom Sawyer is also getting a movie. I don't know if Tom Sawyer is also getting a movie. He might be. I mean, I feel like they're kind of renaissancing everything.
It's been a good 20 years since we've had anything with Tom Sawyer or Huck Finn, though. I think it's time.
Yeah.
I'm okay with
again,
that.
If you were doing a straight adaptation, would anyone care? Because again, I only care because they're doing an adaptation of the story of a side character. They're taking character and telling it from his point of view. I don't give a fuck about Huckleberry Finn.
I mean, I don't care about a lot. I don't care about Hamlet. I don't care about Romeo and Juliet. I don't care about anything from Shakespeare.
We do it all the time.
I'd rather see some Mark Twain than some damn Shakespeare all day, so I'll take that.
I still like the DiCaprio one. It was so
American
good.
Literature.
Great American writer, Mark Twain.
Yeah, you know what? You know what I want to see? I want to see a movie based on what's his name, Paul Bunyan and the Blue Ox.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I've said for years that we should make movies based on like
American folklore.
I mean, that's smart. I think that's interesting too. It's different. I saw the comment about Tom and Huck as adults. It could be like Paul Rudd and Will Ferrell. They do like a comedy version. I'd be down for that. I mean, come on, bring it on. I think that'd be great. Make it a comedy and just have some fun with it. Like, why not? Why not? I don't know.
I think if you're going to do American folklore, there's a lot of stories that are untold. We don't have to do white European American folklore. We can go to Native folklore. We can go to Black folklore. We can go to all these different regions and types of folklore. There's a lot of really rich storytelling to be mined there. We don't need to keep telling the same stories.
What's the African American gentleman who has the hammer? I'd love to see a movie about him. Was it Paul Henry? I think it is.
Oh, I remember Paul Henry.
Is that what it is? Yeah, that'd be a great movie. I'd watch that. That's what I'm saying. I'd like to watch movies like based around.
Disney did a cartoon about him.
They did all the old. They did a whole bunch of cartoons based on like the Johnny Appleseed and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Johnny.
Which like once again, I'm like
2012 they did the John Henry one.
If Disney wants to impress me, make live action versions of like the American legends stories. Like I said, Paul Bunyan and his Babe the Blue Ox, the giant, like the stories of them wrestling, and then that's how the lakes were formed, and then like those weird American like stories. Those are interesting. They're fun. They're cute. Like I'm like, you have your own cute legends. Like tell them. I'm like, they're not all racist and creepy. Like some of them are kind of fun and cute. I'm like.
Yeah, we had these comments. I think you missed this for Alexi though too for a second. We were talking about an adult version of Huck, of Tom and Huck. And I would say it could be like Will Ferrell and Paul Rudd. But I think maybe it was This Is 40. That was actually what it was. This Is 40 was the adult versions of them.
Blazing Saddles, wouldn't it? It's just you know what I mean.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think they grow up to be good people. They weren't good.
Yeah, probably
kids.
not. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
They tried
They probably
their best.
grow up to fight for the South in the Civil War, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that I'm not surprised this is happening though, but I do like that there is a spin on it. And I do think if we're going to do it, let's find a way to make it relevant and also make a way to make the story come through in a good light. And there was a lot of bad stuff in that original. And I barely remember when I was a kid reading it. I know Queen was saying she did a lot of book reports on it, but I think that was a big text for a lot of people back then. I don't know if it's actually still like out there in schools. I don't know if we actually discuss this anymore. Is this a novel that anyone actually reads anymore?
It's a frequently banned book.
Yeah, it's probably banned. So it's interesting that we're gonna like delve into that again. But maybe there's a way to like reinvent it, like we're saying, to make it relevant to society again and bring something better and a story that's not so out there for people that people can all be comfortable with it. I don't know, but it's gonna happen. It's moving forward. Will it be good? Will it not be good? I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out. They're making it, and I think that Taika Waititi is going to be a great person behind it. So he's negotiating. I hope he does sign on for it, and I hope it does work out. Because I always hope when things get signed and worked out and figured out. And I'm really worried right now about Hollywood because the Teamsters are still negotiating. And the video game contracts are up. There's a lot of Hollywood contracts going on. Is there going to be another strike? I want to talk about it. So now it's time for our feature story of the night. Strike, 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 strike! We've been talking about strikes a lot the past few years, I feel like, but the video game strike is the biggest thing that I'm like, what the heck is happening, guys? The video game strike is maybe happening now? It's been over 2 years right now. 2 years they haven't had a contract. They're just like, oh, we're just to keep extending it. Oh, they just gave like authorization to be like maybe we'll strike now. We have Duncan Crabtree, Ireland, the idea that he can actually call a strike now if we want, the executive director over there and chief negotiator. But like, it's been 2 years. 2 years of extending these contracts. How have we not had a strike on this yet? I remember when I was during the other strike, like, oh, we might actually strike now. I'm like, how is this going on for so long? How are we so far apart? And why are we just now saying the strike didn't happen? Is it because potential Teamster strike? Or they're like, well, maybe if Teamster strike, we'll just call a strike for this because we don't want to shut the business down. But how do you go on with a contract like this for so long and not get a deal? That's bullshit to me, I think. And if anybody else and you knows about this, like, we should have a call to be like, guys, this has to be settled now. It's way too long. People are on bullshit contracts, quack it up. And I think that's bullshit. I think take care of people and honestly, sign a deal. Nearly 2 years. 2 years right now. These video game companies like, whatever, we'll figure out these voiceover stuff later. And again, artificial intelligence worry about. You see that stuff. But I mean, that's all people have been talking about the past few years. But on top of that right now, IATSE got their deal. We'll talk about that on Friday. Signed, done, in the books, over with. They're moving on 3-year deal. But the Teamsters, the drivers, the people out there actually working early of the day and end of the day are still having a deal. They hope to sign a deal on Friday. Did not happen. They have until the end of this week. And a strike will happen. So they extended through this week now to negotiate some more, but they still say they're very far apart, and they're worried that we will not get a deal with the AMPTP. I hate talking about this shit. I feel like I say it every time again. But they had 5 weeks of negotiating already, bargaining. 5 weeks. From July 22nd, 2023, they hope to get that deal. It didn't happen. They're hoping to get a deal. We don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, it could happen. It could happen. They might be that close, but it doesn't sound that close. And to me personally, I'm like, how are we in this shenanigans situation? How are we still talking about a potential strike at this point? How did I have to get a deal and they haven't? Will we have a strike here? I'm going to tell you, I don't think so, but because I know people are talking about this, I don't think a strike will happen, but we are actually in that really weird area that Hollywood might shut down again, everybody. So I just want to warn people and talk about it for a brief second, because I think that it's worth talking about this point. It's Monday. We have till the end of the week, and they still say they're very far apart on wages. Very far apart. Rachel, what do you think? Do you think that people are scared? I mean, the business has been kind of like slow right now because of this. Do you think they're just like going to sign a deal at the end of the week? This is all like smoke and mirrors, or do you think that they're actually going to do something? Because I feel like people are scared now. I feel like are worried about their jobs.
I think strikes hurt in the short term. I think strikes are uncomfortable, but it's the sacrifice that you need to make to have better wages in the future. It's very short-term thinking to take a bad contract because you need to be working now. And I understand that it's uncomfortable. It's difficult. It puts people's homes and their lives at risk. I do believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, that there are strike funds.
Yep, there are strike funds all the time. Yep.
Strike, there is a little bit of a cushioning, a little bit of a landing pad for those union members. But I think it's better for everybody, all employees, when strikes happen. Don't take bullshit deals. Don't take less than your worth. Never take less than your worth.
And it happens too often. It happens way too often.
Out in the world, and it's only going to get more expensive. Once the store raises their prices, they're not going to lower them. They raised the prices and they said, oh, well, we have COVID shortages. And have the prices gone down as the supply chain's gotten better? No, it hasn't. And we just have not gone up to meet it. Rent keeps going up and wages have not gone up to meet it. People need wages to survive. This is not people, getting pissy over something that doesn't matter. So
it's true.
Important. It's uncomfortable, but it's important.
I know I said David Banner said something, who would be insane enough to strike in this current economy. That's been a big worry. A lot of people are saying that too. And I know that they don't want to, but the AMPTP are just like not. I mean, it's been a long time
because of the economy. That's why, right?
You kind of have to. Like, we can't afford to take care of stuff. We can't actually take care of our families. I mean, the Teamsters guy said last week, he's like, the president was like, we need to have a living wages, so we're not just like living paycheck to paycheck. We take care of our family and have a quality of life. And that's what we're trying to fight for, because everything is higher. Everything's up, And you know what? And they gave IATSE, some of the Teamsters are still fighting and fighting and fighting. And these are the people that are like really like working the longest hours on set, and really just, it takes a lot on your health, and you're not by your family that much. So what are you getting for it? It's just really upsetting. Lexi, I'm worried about that, but I'm also worried about this video game thing. Can you believe that it's been 2 years right now, and they've been just like renegotiating and like being like, oh, we'll talk about that strike maybe later on. We can't.
Like to pause on the statement for a second here.
Yeah.
It's not that people don't want to work; they just want to be paid for their work.
That's
people
true.
do want to work. They very much want to work, but they also want to be able to eat and live and get their cars to work. There's a lot. It's not about a willingness to work.
Yeah. Oh, everybody's ready to go work right now. Everybody's ready. Everybody's reared up. I know like a lot of Teamsters I talked to before this were like upset and worried about it, but they were also, like, it's getting too tough to actually take care of like our normal pays, our normal day-to-day like paychecks or bills and stuff like that. And they were like, it's just not right. And they're not giving. They're giving everybody else all this money, but they're not giving us anything.
That's illegal.
It's harder and harder. Yeah. Those fighting.
It's illegal
That's
fire
illegal.
striking employees.
But they can't, if they strike, they can't. But then there's going to be the whole don't cross the picket line. A lot of that stuff will happen again. If they do have a strike, it will shut down the town again. It'll shut down everything. It could actually kill Hollywood. And that's the thing. Like, they don't want to do that, but it comes down to the AMPTP taking care of them like everybody else and paying them what they're worth, because these people do give like the most hours of their life to each production. Literally, they're in there like 4 a.m. Most, like, if you talk about the drivers at least, they're in at like 4 a.m. Shoot start at 8. They're like 4 hours.
Union. You have to have a skill. These aren't unskilled laborers, and I don't believe in that term anyway.
Yeah.
Everything has a skill. These are people
Well,
who
they're
have skills
not.
and who have put in the hours to put in their time to be part of a labor union so that they can collectively bargain to be paid what they're worth, because any employer wants to pay the minimum amount. They do not want to pay their employees. They want to basically pay a penny for a dollar's worth of work.
Yeah.
It's not that they're getting people. Wages need to increase over time. Inflation increases, rent increases, groceries increase, wages need to increase too.
Yeah, and they're not lowering prices like Rachel said too. Things are not really going down. Some things kind of fluctuate, but it's just
for
like
a fair rate.
Yeah,
they will do their job for a fair rate.
And they're just worried. Everybody else has got these raises, and they're not getting the raises. That's what they're complaining about right now. They're fighting right now. They're arguing, and they're across the board. Like the AI stuff they gave them, they're actually pretty much the only thing they're really far apart right now is the actual wage increase. And so I'm interested to see what happens. Again, it's not that far away. The 31st when the contract ends, and that could literally shut things down again. What do you think, Alexi? Do you think that they will? I think this is going right to the 11th hour. Is this like a strategy you think with the AMPTP hoping they give? And what about this video game thing? Can you believe it's been almost 2 years and there's still like not a deal?
It's disgusting. The game industry is probably the most abused game worker industry I've ever seen in my entire life, and I can't think of anybody who should be out there striking more. And you want to talk about it, they don't need video games. Go fucking strike. Like, there's nobody who needs to strike more than you. There's nobody who needs rights more. There's no industry who needs a union more. There's nobody who needs an IATSE more than the game industry. Like, I can't understand some of the stuff that I hear about the way that we treat our computer graphics people, the way that we treat our computer people in the entertainment industry is deplorable. It's absolutely deplorable the way we've treated our computer CG.
Like the business itself, yeah, doing all the computer graphics and making all the games and all that.
But even in the film industry, like the very idea that, like I told you before, I've talked about this before on the show before a billion times. The very idea that our industry that I thought was so secure with being a union thing, and how difficult it is to get into these unions, and how much difficult there is in unions, but all of a sudden the CG that's used in every fucking movie out there, that's not union. In the video game industry, I mean, if you want to talk about crunch, you want to talk about abuse, you want to talk about 60 to 80 plus work weeks, you want to talk about people who work hard, you want to talk about people who are sleeping under their desks, who are eating at their jobs, who are not going home, who are not seeing their families. Those are the people who are making video games. Those are the people who are sitting there not living a life. These are the people crying, having mental breakdowns. I have friends who are video game designers. I know people in this industry. It's not like, I don't just like talk out my ass. I know people. I know one guy who's able to get by, and he has industry jumped, and that's how he's had success. He was job jumping every 5 months to a year. That's not a stable life to have not be able to stay with a company with his skill set, because he has to be able to just keep moving in order to keep stable in an industry that is so unstable because of the abuses that he knows, that he's seen. I've seen how EA treats people. I've seen how Rockstar treats people. I wouldn't work for those companies. I have people, anytime I see young kids that are getting out of school and they say they're going into games, I tell them not to. That's the one industry I tell people not to go into more than I do film. Those are the two industries I tell people not to go into.
Tough.
The entertainment industry is the worst industry to go into. You want to be working for abusive crunch hours, never get paid, never get treated well, spend a lot of time fighting, have your ideas taken from you, have your art not be art, have it be a commercial product, work in the entertainment industry. Like, creativity is dead in this industry. It's owned by Wall Street. Understand your position. You are creating a commodity, not art. We're not artists. We're industry workers. We're working in an industry.
Show business, they always say,
Truly astounding how well anti-union propaganda has seeped into American culture.
Absolutely. It's astounding.
And people need to understand the history with labor. You have a weekend because of unions. You have overtime because of unions. You have you have rights in the workplace because of unions. Before unions, we had children working in unsafe factories, getting their hands chopped off 7 days a week. Like, it's astounding how much people do not appreciate the labor rights that were fought and earned with blood in this country by unions.
They're trying to take it away, too. They have kids working in factories again, and things like this going on in factories again. And those are things that you should be horrified about. You should hear that and go, I'm horrified. And you know what? A lot of people are horrified because unions made sure people are horrified by things like that.
You don't want to go to Canada if you're looking to avoid labor rights.
That's the whole thing about the business, though, too. They do branch out of California. They branch out of the States. There's a lot of stuff happening in Canada. They run from the unions. The unions really aren't even covered as much in the United States. They used to be covered. And so they took away most of the rights for health insurance. If you actually work, like the majority of the United States,
Europe is
you don't get any health coverage
for not doing rights for your actors.
Yeah, they do that. I mean, there's a lot of things that could be fixed with our union. Again, that's just SAG and other unions too cover differently. We are probably SAG is probably one of the worst ones when it comes to coverage in the United States. But I will say this though, it's whatever's happening right now with the Teamsters, with the gaming industry, the gaming thing's it's just fucked up. It's been almost 2 years. We don't have a deal. We just keep extending and be like, yeah, well,
I mean,
we voted.
Brian, not to cut you off. Are you familiar with the over, 18 companies or more that Microsoft recently shut down, and the over 5,000 plus layoffs that they've recently had? I mean, they shut down major companies. They shut down things like Gearbox. They shut down. I mean, those are the guys who did Borderlands and things like that. I mean, we're talking major companies. They've recently bought Blizzard. I mean, currently Microsoft is the Disney of game companies. They are just buying up the market left, right, and center, and they are monopolizing it. And then they are shutting all of these companies down, and they're taking these employees and they're just throwing them out on the streets. And so there's a huge exodus of game designers and game employees out on the streets. There are over 20,000 unemployed game designers out on the streets currently because of what's going on in the industries.
And you would think that would be a surging business too. Do you think they need more, programmers and more people to actually build these? They're usually big teams.
You would think that more of them would be fighting for their own unions, and they're not. Yeah. That's what gets me, is how many of them are not fighting for it.
Anti-union propaganda and the amount of union busting that companies do is, we're supposed to have laws against this.
But and a lot is going non-union these days. Look at even like, again, I hate to go back to SAG, but even SAG, like their commercial contract, most of the commercials now are not even union jobs; they're non-union commercials. Yeah. And all the big companies, AT&T, Verizon, to T-Mobile, to Best Buy, Target, all these different companies are going non-union. And it's like SAG's let it happen. They gave the contracts up that actually had protections to keep these companies to actually be union. And now it's like starting over again. It's happening more and more. It's harder and harder to work. Again, the Teamsters are saying this. Everybody's saying this. It's harder and harder to have a living wage and do this job. It's becoming more part-time than full-time. And that's a problem because, again, a lot of people...
Well, why so many people are willing to suck corporate dick rather than let individuals be paid? Oh, well, Microsoft did the... No, think about people.
Yeah.
There must be something good about that corporate dick I don't know about.
That business isn't going to notice you. These are human beings who are working there every single day. Human beings like you and me. You have more in common with the low-wage worker at Amazon than you do with Jeff Bezos every day.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, it's like the hours.
He will never see you, and he will never give you $1 billion for being his little lapdog.
Elon Musk is spending billions on union busting in Congress. He's spending billions to stop all kinds of legislation for unions to get through anywhere in the country, period. Because he doesn't want any
dick,
of that.
Not corporate dick. I'm pro dick sucking, anti-corporate.
Elon Musk, Musk is all over the news too these days. But he's we moved from California, a lot of jobs left there too.
But he's got his hand in so much government pocket at this point that he has an influence on that. It goes back to the corporate discussion that we're having. It influences background. I know we're having a discussion about you're asking about video games. It comes back to that. It's if a major corporation has their hands in the pocket and they're saying unions are bad and they can eliminate unions, then guess what's next? SAG. SAG is next.
Yep.
They're going to go after old institutions, and if they can eliminate all the old institutions and all the old Hollywood institutions that have existed for years to create protections for you are just going to be gone.
That's what we're all worried about.
And then you get shot on Rust and nobody gives a shit.
Yep. And then that happens. And then then your husband takes a buyout and becomes the executive producer, and you sweep that under the rug, and then you go to court, and then the prosecution fucks it all up, and then you walk free, and nobody cares. The thing is, though, on top of that, is I worry about the business, and I always say this, and I know we've had this discussion multiple times on Kruse Control, but that's the reason why a lot of these strikes have been happening, because people are worried about the future of it, and they're hiring less and less people. Again, they say they're getting paid more, we're going to hire less people because we can, but it's not just that. It's they're trying to change the business so that it's not an art form anymore, like Lexi was saying on top of that, and it's becoming a business. It's always been show business, but it's becoming more and more of less of the artists and more about the business and more of the AI and more of the any way we can cut people out of it, we will. And it's not going to be, the problem is, I hate to be a dread and dire despair about the future of the film industry, but I feel like that it'll be less and less people doing full-time jobs, and then you have less qualified people doing it, and then the product's worse, and then all of a sudden people are complaining, why the fuck does this movie suck this summer, and everyone's bombing because real people do anything, and then all of a sudden the film industry hurts, and then we can't have great entertainment.
Cheap product. If
you
want quality, you pay people.
And there's been generations of people doing this. And if you go to this town, third, fourth generation that have learned, trained, been a part of it. And I'm just saying, keep those people here, pay them, you figure it out, get a fair wage, and continue forward so we can actually keep working and so a town can thrive.
Or do you want Louis Vuitton? Because you're getting Shein.
And
they want Target.
Target's better than Shein. I'll take Target over Shein all day.
I have not mentioned a political candidate. I've just said this. employees deserve to be paid. I don't think that's a political statement.
Yeah. I think the business needs to be saved. And I'll say that again, the business needs to be saved. And if the Teamsters don't get a deal, again, there's
wealth, it's about paying for the labor that's making them that wealth.
Yeah. I just worry about I worry about the business. I worry about the Teamsters. I worry about where we're going. I worry about another strike. People are already hurting here a lot, and the business is hurting. I know a lot of people aren't working. They're worried, and this might happen this week. That's just about, I just want to put it out there. This might happen. There might be another strike. It's getting closer than we've ever been since last summer. So keep watching. We'll keep you updated. And I hope a strike is not in the forecast. Anyways, everybody, thank you for being on Kruse Control tonight. Appreciate you as always. Happy Monday. Sorry, Robert. I hope that you got some sleep tonight in that bed. I hope you're doing well. And I hope you're okay, man. What happened? Hopefully you pop back in there. Rob is a great guy. We're excited to have him. Hopefully he comes back when he figures his stuff out. I think he was scared of the hot takes. But thank you for being here on Kruse Control as always. Miss Lexi Koval, thank you as always for being here. Appreciate you. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great time. And have a good rest of the week. I can't wait to talk to you again soon. Hope you kick some ass this week.
I can't wait. I'm going to kick as much ass as I can. Just all the week's ass that I can.
Just got to run with plus, kicking that ass. Kicking that ass. Eating that ass. Beating that ass. Rachel, thank you for being here on Kruse Control. As always, appreciate you. Hope you had a great Monday. The Queen of Mondays. Thank you for being here as always and appreciate you and hope you had a great time. And I'll see you next week.
Hell yeah. Queen of Mondays, queen of paying your labor.
pay labor, pay your kids, hide your wives, hide your kids, and pay your people. At the end of the day, we appreciate you. Pay your employees, and please don't strike. Please don't strike. But then again, only time will tell. By Friday, we'll know.
I kind of want you to strike.
they said there's no going past 31st. If it goes past 31st, they said they are absolutely striking. So only time will tell.
I just like it because it's gonna just fuck up the movies again. It's gonna be really funny.
It would fuck everything.
I don't want you to not work, but I like.
This will be a good week.
Get fucked up. It's just funny.
This supposed to be a good week. Deadpool Wolverine comes out on Thursday. It's supposed to be a good week. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Oh, you got some movies to watch now.
Yeah. Anyways, everybody, thank you for being on Kruse Control. As always, appreciate you. Please keep spreading that word. Find Robert somebody. I don't know where he went. And you know what? You gotta keep spreading the word. You gotta tell your friends, your family, your uncles, your aunts, your grandmas, your grandpas, your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmas and grandparents that came down from Neptune, Pluto, Uranus, and smacked down your neighbor's backyard, and then get to the next neighbor's backyard, and the next one's like a colossal experience of colossal aliens hitting smack down everywhere in your neighborhood, and they had a pool party. It was awesome. They had brought the chinchillas, the beavers, the bears, and all the badgers, and they had a big party, an orgy, and it turned into fucking bloodbath because they started killing each other, but they all subscribed to Kruse Control, which was fucking awesome. That was awesome. And the kangaroos were fucking vicious. They were eating the beavers' babies. I don't know what the fuck is happening there, but I love this because they came back around. They love each other. I don't know what happened. They also had sex. They had more babies. It's fine. It's fine. The mailman was there. The postal people were there. All the government officials were there, and they all came together. And they said, "Whatever, we love you." And they had more babies, and they subscribed to Kruse Control as you could. I don't know the fuck I'm talking about anymore. Anyways, have a great night, everybody. I don't condone killing beaver babies. I'm just gonna say that right now. I love the beaver babies.
Kruse Control does not condone killing animals.
No, and the chinchillas are great, and the chickens might peck at your penis, but you gotta love them anyways.
Don't kill them.
It's okay. It's okay. Anyways, everybody, until hump day, everybody, have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Again, kick some ass, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Until Wednesday, see ya.